Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Midnight Podcast. I'm your host, Xeno, and I'm here with my co-host, Eddie, in your group.
My name's Eddie, and I have a plethora of people here today at my professional recording studio. To my left, I have Brandon.
Yo.
I have Aiden.
What's up?
We have Mikey.
That's good.
We have Pope Ja the 16th.
I can speak Chinese.
Also known as Anthony. Yeah, cause fuck you. We got Gavin.
Sup, gamers?
We got Tommy, but he's taking a shit right now. So, and we have Joey.
What's good, guys?
Alright, so this is gonna be.
This is a little special edition of the podcast though, because my group,
terrible.
Fuck you.
We have an extraordinary amount of people.
Yes, we have a lot of people, and we are all in the same room, which is terrible.
Except for John.
I'm at my own room, my comfort abode.
And it's hot down here.
Yeah, it's
very
hot. It's like a gas chamber.
Want to see it get hot? Anthony, you break a sweat sitting
This is
down.
exactly what I knew this was coming about.
I'm sweating right now.
All right, so we have a couple things in the topic and idea podcast, mostly just by me. So I think we should start off with something that's really, really important and like deep and close to my heart, and I really just want to get this out there. So I think we should have an intervention for Anthony's crippling monster addiction, because we're all here for you. We all love you, and it's just really taking over.
If I see you on the monster again, I swear to fucking God.
It's good.
We'll get through it.
If we see you on the monster, Anthony, we're going to beat you. We will beat you if we see you on the monster again.
I wouldn't call
I
it
would
a...
shove my dick up your ass.
Whoa,
Yeah,
hey, chill with that.
Solving the problem is admitting that there's a problem.
There is no problem.
See, I wouldn't call it a problem.
This is
I would
what we've
call it
been
more of like
working on.
a disease.
He's in denial.
Anthony, breathe.
Stages
You
of
don't need it.
depression.
You're stronger than it.
Maybe we should try soft and try moving
You
into
don't need
sugar
to find
free
the
Red
monster
Bull.
needs you.
Exactly.
You can break free.
Can we switch Anthony over to 5 hour?
Alright. Okay.
I guess
Instead of 5-hour energy, Anthony would be on like 35-hour energy.
Dude, he's down like 3 months.
Can we just give Anthony cocaine?
I second that.
It would also make him happy. So.
I'm fine, thank you.
Can you just snort the monster?
No, he does that fucking heroin shit where he like heats it up in a spoon and then just inserts it straight in the pork.
And then he dies.
He has a monster running
Like
through
he's in his bathroom, band around his bicep, band in his teeth, tightening it. Someone opens the door. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
I would never say that of a child of Jesus.
That is false.
Shut the fuck
Exactly,
up.
the monster's turning you against Jesus.
You don't know. Was he?
The monster
He's
6.
a child of Jesus, though. The event where his mom tells him he can't listen to Ghost, and he actually doesn't listen to Ghost.
That is true.
I mean, even if
Someone's mom's
even,
rocking out to
even if someone plays it, even if someone plays in the friend group, he's like, "No, turn that sacrilegious stuff off."
That is unholy music. That is
I think
Satan. That is Satan's radio.
I think this problem's getting worse. The fact that he's dipping donuts in his monster.
Mixing it with his coffee.
It's 85% meme and 25% taste. That
It was
doesn't add up.
no reverse that.
I think you gagged at the end. When you
Because
did
it
it
tastes
right.
gross. It's a donut and monster.
This is why
It
it's
was-
a problem. You
It
still
was
did it.
also like the fucking whole wheat donut.
No, it was just
Isn't that just a-
it was just plain.
No, as you've seen in regular show, there's a difference between a whole wheat donut and a bagel.
Y'all think?
yes.
Y'all think
I guess-
the
glazed donuts or the double
No,
glazed?
those were the double glazed apple fritters that
Yeah.
fucking sent pops into some like.
And they needed
Wow.
to get rid of it with the whole wheat donut.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, guys. What's the difference between a whole wheat donut and the bagel?
I don't fucking know the name.
The fuck.
Well, one you fucking fry.
What type of
One of them you fry. Well, no, one of them
Yeah, stop getting technical.
No one cares.
y'all think Anthony listens to monster drinking ASMR?
Yes. Anthony, see, so Anthony used to.
He finished one.
Anthony used to fall asleep to air conditioner noises. Now he falls asleep to monster slurping.
You'll play a video.
You just hear like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
This is just false.
I refuse to believe that.
Anthony, you put it in a thermos and take you to school every morning.
Every morning,
Twice. It was like twice.
No, you'll
Yes,
play a
it's
video
funny.
for him. There'll be a video of somebody just drinking some soda for ASMR, and he'll know by the sound of the crisp taste that it's not
Hold on.
Monster.
By the sound of the taste, are you stupid?
Hold on. Yes. No, let's flash back to like 5 hours ago. You weren't here, so we were going to write it. I called you, like, why did you call? We're going to write it. The next thing you said, get me a monster. Yeah, that's correct. I'll pay you. I said, no. You said, yes, or I'll get it myself. Either way.
Somebody pull up the chat logs. Pull up the chat logs.
You said, get me a monster.
That is correct.
Pull up the logs. Pull up the
I'm not denying these allegations.
I haven't had a monster in 2 weeks before that.
I think
You
he's
drank
like
two
doctor.
today. You drank 2 in 4 hours.
Alright, Aiden. Maybe at that time you drank 4 in like 2 hours.
It was like 4 in like an hour.
started hurting.
Yeah, your chest is hurting. Maybe he's the one with the.
I had a problem, but I addressed it.
Anthony, all I'm saying is you're hurting all of us. You're hurting the whole group.
Punch him. I'm going like this. I sound like a police officer.
Anthony, you're not the same when you drink Monster.
Dude, are we gonna address how long time shit is?
He's definitely FaceTiming Anna on the pooper
He
scooper.
definitely is. That's why he wanted to go upstairs.
Probably constipated, honestly.
I've been constipated.
Should we
Or
check
you-
on him? I'm gonna check.
He's definitely
No.
jerking off.
He just screamed from the
You just hear him through the door.
Knocked on it. Open.
Gavin, why the fuck did you open that?
I didn't open it.
This is terrible.
He just locked the door.
Alright, that's the end of tonight's podcast.
We haven't even done 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Alright, John. Okay, so explain.
Stop taking my knife.
Stop taking my shut up. So
Shut the fuck up.
Why do you
I will
have
crush you.
Alright, so John, I want you to explain your idea for our midnight podcast SMP server streaming thing.
I mean, that would just be like any other stream server. Like you have to be streaming to play on it. But it's pretty much just like any other SMP server, honestly. We could just do Minecraft. We could do other games.
What about the hand game?
Ooh, the hand game. I do like. I might cop the hand game. The funny hand survival. That. I mean, that's not really something that you can do. Like, with everybody else, like on their own time.
It would be funny moment.
Yeah, it's more just like YouTube clips. That's just farming for YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Next topic. Turn off Clash of Clans.
Who the hell is listening to Monster ASMR?
Are you stupid? You saw when we were vibing, we're all listening to music. This Gavin sitting at the table with his phone out, so concentrated.
I thought we were
Dude, I got to read a 12 today and I just read down.
Wow, you beat like 30 12-year-olds.
No one asked. No,
Actually, it's like
To be honest, you're gone.
Did I ask, Gavin? Did I ask? No.
Hey,
Shut
that's
up.
That's a big ass. Get out of here, John.
Never mind, I can't do that.
You are gone.
Am I not allowed to do that?
What? Say, did I? Yeah, I don't like that.
I apologize.
And you not.
Okay, so
You
I
have
have-
structure in your
I have a lot of stories to tell tonight.
Alright.
Ooh, alright.
So if you see in the topic and ideas chat, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Just like.
Um,
Oh, wait! You guys see what I like?
which one?
Skip to the piss in the washer.
Okay.
I like this story.
I told you he was coming out of the bathroom going, that was so smelly.
Dude, my butthole hurts from that one. Holy shit.
His ass is on fire.
It is, bro. Like, how did you know? It's smelly before
Brandon's
you
not.
Dude, my stomach feels so.
Alright, so let's talk about pissing in the dryer.
Okay,
The washer.
So yeah, the washer.
I have washer.
We can talk about both.
Okay, no, it's an actual story.
Oh, wow.
So one day, back when Fortnite was pretty popular, I was downstairs, and let me just settle it. I have 3 floors on my house. It's a slim house, but I have the top floor, the main floor, and then the finished basement. And I was in my basement playing the Xbox One. I was playing the
That's the
Xbox
monster
One.
coming out.
No, that was me.
That was
I
the
drink
naked.
Monster.
He's drinking naked.
Bro.
So I was playing the Fortnite, and I was deep into a game. It was like one of my best games at the time, and I had like 5 kills. I was in like the top 20. These bitches are playing patty cake over there. Oh my god!
Try to do
It's so loud.
And so I'm like really intense, but then I'm like, fuck, I have to piss bad. But I didn't want to piss myself because it would have gotten all over the fucking love seat. Oh my god.
Wait, but why did you run to the bathroom?
This is where because the bathroom's all the way upstairs. There's no bathroom downstairs. So I'm like,
pissing in the washer.
so I'm like, I think, fuck, I don't want to go all the way upstairs because every time I go all the way upstairs, I die, and I'm like, this is a really good game for me, so I don't want to die, right? So
I died.
yeah, so I'm like, where can I go? I don't want to go in the corner because fucking. It's carpet, and also, I know what I'll do. I look for places to go. I'm like, I know what looks appealing. The fucking washer. So I roll up to the washer. I'm like on my knees, aiming my little pecker in there, and I just start pissing in the washer, and the ironic thing is, as I'm pissing, I just hear of a fucking scar just drilling a hole through all my builds and just game ending me while I'm pissing in the washer with my pants down.
You died?
Yeah, I died.
It wasn't even worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth it. And then I'm like, well, now I have all this piss in the washer. What am I gonna do with it? So I just put it on rinse, and so the fucking washer was just rinsing my piss out of it and then draining it off.
You should have got a really long tube.
What, and drain it?
No, you just pissed in the tube.
No. Upstairs bathroom just from the basement. It is pressure on it.
You should have, like you're finished with the milk at the end of cereal. Just slip that shit up. What are you guys doing?
Shut the
You guys are so annoying.
Describe, you stupid fucking mongrel.
Describe your poop on the podcast.
No,
This is so bad. Oh, it's terrible.
Did you watch iCarly?
I don't care.
No, but I'm like, did you watch iCarly? Like,
Yes.
There was that episode when fucking Spencer got the arcade game and he couldn't stop playing it. You should have just did what he did when he had to take a piss. He just put a tube onto the tip of his dick and just ran it down his leg into a bottle.
You guys gonna make that thing.
I didn't have a bottle.
You guys ever?
Eddie, you should have just gotten a shit bucket. Should have just gotten a shit bucket.
What's the weirdest thing you guys have done while sleepwalking?
I've never
I pissed in my garbage.
I started
can.
beating up my.
How the fuck did you get?
Alright,
Not my outside garbage can. You idiot.
alright. If it wasn't for my
I
mom
didn't
waking
specify.
me up, I would
you
have
didn't do
taken
that.
a shower while sleeping.
Oh yeah, you told me.
I spooned my dog.
I pissed in my garbage can. My dad caught me mid piss. And woke me up.
Wait, was your dog Big Spoon or Little Spoon?
Little spoon.
Did those dogs
The dog.
him?
That's wholesome though.
Or just
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wholesome.
That's
My
wholesome.
dick against my
It's not
dog's back.
bestiality tokens.
So yeah, that's the piss in the washer story. I also have a lot more. You can pick through those.
I recommend the pool stick story.
That'll be later on because that's
That's a good one.
That's the gold.
Ooh.
VR
while
Why not doing peeing?
I don't know. I was just
I felt that.
I was I was in a bit of a kinky mood.
You just have to experiment.
You know,
Different places where.
What about the?
And
What
even
about
the first one? It's his dog.
what about the peeing in the corner while younger?
He specifies while younger in that one because the Fortnite one wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. So a long time ago, back when I was living in Georgia in an apartment, right? So I had a
You're only 10. I see.
Shut up! I said Georgia, not tenant. Okay, so back in Georgia, I lived in an apartment and I had a bunk bed, right? But the bunk bed wasn't like flush with the wall, so there was just like this little tiny crack that you could like hide stuff in or
piss down the crack.
so
There's nobody below you sleeping, and they like got that like.
no against the
They
wall.
got the
No,
nice golden shower.
No, against the wall. No, there's like it's not flush with the wall, so like yeah. So so there was a multitude of times. It happened more than once actually.
What? Why don't you use the toilet?
How do you get out of the bed? You don't want to get out of the bed?
Convenient.
So
If you're really comfortable in bed, I mean,
I don't want my
and you
room
have
to
to
smell like
piss,
piss.
and you have to piss. It's
I don't
either-
want to piss on myself.
Piss
How
your-
about that one?
it's either
Would
piss
you piss
yourself-
down a crack?
If I was comfortable,
I would
yes.
never.
Depends where the crack is.
Oh, but then your
What kind
room
of crack
smells
are we
like
talking
piss.
about?
okay,
Your
no,
bed smells like
guys,
piss.
chill.
A small price.
All right, let's finish the
tag.
story. Finish the story.
Okay, so what would happen was I would like have to piss really, really bad. And I'm like, I don't know if I can make it to my bathroom. And so what I would do is I would put my hand down my pants and pinch my dick to get me.
Yo, shut the fuck up. $25 on Zumba.
Wow, that was a lot.
Guys, he's telling us.
Alright, guys.
Honestly, shut the fuck up.
Go have fun in the other room.
Get him out of here. I want him gone.
Well, I'm gone.
Yeah, we just put him in the gas
I want
chamber.
him gone.
So I pinched my dick to give me a few extra seconds of like holding time.
Salvation.
It's gonna hurt.
Of holding time, and I'm like, dude, I can't hold this any longer. It's already starting to leak out, and I
Wait,
can't.
were you top or you were top bunk, I assume.
And I alternated.
On this occasion.
Yeah.
This time he was top.
So I'm like, damn it, I don't have anywhere to go. Let me just use this where my parents won't see the wet spot. So I just start pissing in the crack.
Was your room carpet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna mold.
So
Piss mold.
I started pissing in the crack, and I'm like, huh, that was pretty nice. I don't have to really go anywhere
I'll do it
afterwards. I'm
again.
So like whenever I really had to go to the bathroom, I'm like, I'll just use the crack.
You guys should have gotten those dog pads to put under the
I
bed.
think, I think like one of the funniest things was after we moved out of the apartments.
Your parents never discovered this.
No,
It didn't
it
smell.
didn't smell. No, it never smelled. I don't know why.
Did you
It's-
only drink water?
Yeah, I drink a lot of water as a kid.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah.
There's no actual like piss smell. It's just water.
Nah,
But,
water pistol smells like
but-
this.
Not as
so
much
they
though.
never found out
I guess.
until like years and years later. I finally tell them, I finally tell my mom. I'm like, yeah, I remember I used to piss in the corner back in the apartments. And she was like, "What? We could have gotten fined for that so bad because like we had a landlord and some shit. If they found out that some kid was pissing on the carpet, they started pissing on the carpet.
The way that moved in got like
Water damage, but it's purely
black
piss.
Yeah, fucking water damage. Nah, urine damage, motherfucker.
Did you move the bunk beds though and see what was behind it?
Like the carpet stink?
I don't know. I was.
You should have like.
That shit evaporated.
You should have made like a.
So hot in Georgia, it's
You should have made like a porta potty type urinal.
Alright.
But no, just take like cut a hole in the wall and run like a long ass pipe into the bathroom, just like into the toilet, just so you can
Do your own plumbing.
piss in the pipe and it goes down.
I don't think I pissed that hard that it would make it all the way
No, but
down.
if you're
We're on, like,
on the
second
top,
floor.
if you were-
Oh wait, no! I got the plan, guys. So I'm gonna piss in the tube, right? And then I'm gonna take it, put it in my mouth, and then
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, similar
I always
story.
love hearing Eddie like peeing, but like I think we need to change the story now.
No, hold on. Similar
You
story.
got a
I
piss
was-
fetish? Is that what I'm hearing? You got a piss fetish?
I used to,
Yeah, I'm
I,
gonna piss in my
I,
own mouth. I love.
I used to also sleep in a bunk bed, but I would only sleep on the top. I sleep on the bottom. Shut the fuck
No
up.
one asked.
So I had to pee. I was like 7 years old. I had to pee really bad. I didn't think I was going to make it to the bathroom because my bathroom was downstairs at the time. So I climb out of bed looking for somewhere to piss. Penis out in hand. Looking, I started panicking, and I had this this Pirates of the Caribbean boat, and it was like a 2-level boat. So the bottom of it was completely empty. So I stuck my dick into the window of the bottom one because it was like 3 inches boat. No.
You lost virginity to a boat.
It was like 3. There was like 3 inches of just empty space, and I started pissing, and I was there for like 30 seconds just peeing into my boat, and I didn't know what to do with it the next day, so I threw it in the garbage.
The whole boat.
Oh my god.
It is not.
Dude,
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna go-
that smart.
You
I
go through the
wasn't that
process of
smart,
like
man.
drying it, cleaning it all through. You don't want to piss
I
pile
coulda
in your
just-
room.
I could have just filled up the bathtub and put it in the bathtub.
I don't think you can just put
I would
water
have
on piss.
still had my Pirates of the Caribbean boat.
Yeah, you fucking.
Yeah, so you-
Where'd your
Dude,
Dude, aren't those
do
that
that.
expensive too? It was a
They
front
didn't
name.
notice. They didn't know I had it.
Let me
You
piss
just
in my
had it.
boat real quick.
All right, now I have a serious question. Have you guys ever fell in?
To the
No.
toilet.
Yeah, Leo
You're
did.
not leaving.
He does like every other week, bro.
But no, we were playing Fortnite, and he goes, hold on, I got to take a shit real quick, and the battle bus started flying, and he left his headset on, so we heard the beeps, and he didn't look to see if the seat was up, and he sat down, and the seat was up, and he falls in. And it's like he's sitting there. And you can hear him screaming for help. And then he calls me, and I was like, "Bro, where are you? Like, you're fucking AFK floating through the air." And he's like, "I fell in."
He's done it so many times. I've been there for at least 2 occasions with that.
All right, have you guys ever left the toilet seat down?
Oh, pissed on you?
I pissed on it before.
I don't know what kind of dumb shit you guys do.
I was gonna
No, wait.
You
All
guys,
special.
you guys never made your ass numb that you couldn't feel it.
No, I
I
don't have anal sex like you do.
Bathtub?
Wait, if you're taking a bath,
No, when you're taking
if you're taking a bath, and
I meant like
like,
if you're taking a shower.
yeah.
I mean, who doesn't pee in the shower?
Yeah, but if you're taking a bath and you just piss it, so you're in a constant mix
I
of
pissed in the
piss.
same
I piss up my
We were at a
faucet.
hotel, right? And the toilet didn't work. So I pissed in the bathtub.
Okay.
No
I
one
shit in the bathtub.
I threw up in the bathroom.
Bro, Brandon,
I've
you
done that
else
too.
to
It's
play
fucking
with.
awful.
Yeah, I shit in the bathtub.
I was draining.
Oh my god, can we please stop talking about this shit?
Have you really?
Piss, shit, and cum, shit, piss, shit, and
Have you gone to take a shit, but you procrastinated so long that when you get up, your legs are asleep?
No.
I've been on the toilet for 45 minutes.
Holy shit.
If I was on a toilet for 45 minutes,
I think,
then my parents would come
I
in.
was home alone.
I think the most I've been on the toilet is like half an hour at most.
Dude, I was giving my dog a
If
bath
I-
once
if
and
I
it
was
straight
on-
up shit like right on me
If
almost.
I was
when we
on
were
the
in
toilet
bathtub.
for 45 minutes, I think my family would just think I'm busting out a fat one.
I mean, I never mind.
I mean, I do
So
that.
no,
Bathroom, that one over there.
so I don't really like
At the same time.
yeah, okay.
Shower too.
Yeah, I don't really like busting them out in the
Dude,
back.
water does not
Oh
help.
my god!
Shut
Oh
the
my
fuck
god!
up.
I am already in the middle of a sentence. Everyone's quiet.
I don't really like water.
So I don't really like busting them out on the toilet because so I'm like horny, right? And then I sit on this cold ass seat and then my back touches the cold ass like back and then while I'm jerking it my body rocks and it makes the whole fucking like back of the toilet just go.
Dude, if you have a shirt on,
He's
does
not wearing a
that
shirt.
hurt?
He goes completely.
Bro, you don't have to sit.
He strips down before
Put a
jumping out.
towel on the floor and sit on it.
What?
What?
Sit on the toilet.
Crisscross applesauce.
Bro, what kind of fat shit is that?
Circle jerk like the cum
Did you,
clots.
like, when I first discovered porn, I didn't know what coming was. I thought the guy would just piss on her.
Let's do that sometimes. He does it sometimes.
What I heard for the past
I'm not saying that's what it looked like, but I was just confused. I was like, it's like that Yoda meme. It's like when you realize your penis isn't just for peeing, and you're just like, fuck, dude. It also passes kidney stone.
Dude, he was. He had a horrible.
Yeah, I am.
It also passes fucking baby
Oh, I hate dude.
Horny,
thinking
yeah.
about it. I
half
don't want to rock out
half
to
the
my
time
dog.
all I hear from you guys is just static.
What?
Brother has to
Holy
keep
fuck.
Yeah, because everyone starts talking at once with fucking.
Too much protein?
Why are you talking about protein?
We're talking about
Kidney stones because we're talking about what
Why
your
the fuck
dick
are
can
you
do.
talking about?
Oh my god, this is such a bad one. This is all piss related. The piss cast.
More than half the topics that he has are about piss.
They are. Alright, go to VR while high. Skip to VR while high.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. So I was visiting some friends in Tennessee one time, and I swear to God, if you guys say if you're the only 10 I see, I'm gonna smack you.
Hey
in the
Eddie,
face.
Eddie, you're the only 10 I see. Suck my dick, nigga. Ah!
I wasn't the first one. I wasn't the first one.
You're making it sound like
He's
you're
the
gonna say.
exception, not the rule.
It's alright, I'm half black. We are chilling. I'm keeping it in. I am not editing that out. I'm way too lazy. It is going in raw.
They rattling
Okay,
the fucking gas
so-
chamber? What are they doing?
It's not even that funny of a story.
In the garage? Or outside?
Okay. Okay, I guess.
Yeah,
everyone's
maybe you guys should
leaving.
just stay there so Gavin doesn't talk all the time. Oh, yo, wait, I thought you were Mikey.
No, I was literally finishing Brandon's speech,
Alright,
and you're
hold on.
like, Gavin!
Let Eddie continue.
Alright, so actually, I'm not gonna say the VR High story because that
Fuck
one
you.
is not funny. But I'm gonna just tell the wasp sting story because it has to do with my apartment in Georgia.
Well, we watched
The one you pissed it.
Yeah, when he pissed on the wasp and the wasp stung his dick.
We watched VR porn.
Aiden almost fell down the
You're
stairs.
welcome.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Joey.
Alright.
We
Okay,
can
so
fuck
the
this.
wasp sting story. Okay, so
Piss on the wall.
stop talking about pissing on the wasp.
Is that why the wasp stung you? Because you pissed on him?
No, I didn't piss on the wasp.
He tried to piss on the wasp.
Oh my god.
Shit
no.
on the walls.
That's the kid you stole on
The wasp pissed on you.
You guys had a cross streams.
Alright, so
Game day, but
so
I think it's called being stung.
back at my apartment, I had a group of. Stop! I'm trying desperately.
All right, shut up.
So, so back at the old apartments, I had a group of friends, and we all like despised wasps so much because they would be like around the places where we would hang out, and then we wouldn't be able to hang out there anymore.
They're the Hispanics of the
Can I shoot your dogs?
They're the Hispanics of the bee family. Wasps.
And
Hey, we're wasps.
and so
Yeah, we came
you
I'm pissed on him.
so yeah, we all hated wasps because they were everywhere, and so we made a group called the Wasp Hunters, and we're like we thought we were all cool and everything by making that. And what we would do is we would get all our like fucking lightsabers and swords and everything, and just absolutely and like water bottles and shit, and we would just go around, find wasp nest, and just knock their shit down and like crush them. And
How many times did you get stung?
none actually.
Professional.
Yeah, we're actually like really careful and safe and shit.
Yes, with your lights.
You wore a whole bee
but
suit.
Yeah, no, but
Fucking naked.
yikes. So yeah, but then systematically, all my friends started leaving the apartment complex. So like, all my friend group was gone. But
Bee hunters.
The final hunter left, Eddie.
so then it was me and my little brother. So
You're
because
the last one to complete the mission.
he was very young at the time, but I wanted to introduce him to my passion
To the
He got stung, dude.
of killing wasps.
He got stung. didn't he?
Shut up.
Bang,
God, shut up. He didn't get gangbanged. Stop talking about my little brother getting gangbanged. I swear to God.
Pixelated coffee.
bang.
So,
It's like hentai, except it's the little black bar.
Finish story.
oh my God. So I take him out one day, and we see the wasp nest. I'm like, Aiden, let me show you how a gamer does it.
And then he
And
dies.
So I get my
Definitely allergic.
I get my lightsaber, right? And I like stand back, let the professional handle this. So I start whacking the wasp nest, and the wasps are like flying around and everywhere. I'm like, yeah, you take it, wasp. Yeah, get gangbanged.
Dirty to the waters.
And then one of the wasps, and
You
then
like it when I hit you with the lights.
and then one of the wasps are like, you know what? Fuck this shit. So it flies onto my lightsaber, and I see it crawling towards me. Our eyes meet, and I'm like, oh fuck. And so it's already like halfway down the lightsaber, and like, what do I do? And it like flies onto my forehead and just stings me in my fucking forehead, and I'm like screaming. I like drop the shit. I like wipe them off, and I just start sprinting back to my house. I'm like, fuck.
You left your brother?
No,
Your brother traumatized.
no. Aiden ran with me back to the house, and I'm like, oh, I got stung, but I was too embarrassed to tell my mom like what actually happened. So I'm like, yeah, I was just running around, and a wasp flew on my forehead and stung me.
Bro, my man went hard on you.
No, but like,
Bro, Eddie,
Yes.
Eddie got the whole Indian dot on the forehead.
No. That's not the best part though. So my face swelled up so much that for like a week straight, I looked like a full-blown chink. And,
You look like Anthony.
except Asian.
You mean dying?
And so yeah. And so like my face blows up, and my mom's like, "Oh, I gotta post this on Facebook."
Boomers be like, I gotta post that shit on Facebook. Ha 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 ha.
Meme.
Yeah.
She tagged the wasp.
Yeah. And so like my mom's like, well, do you want to go to school? And in my head, I'm like, I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if I went to school. But then another thought occurred to me. And I'm like, you know what? On second thought, no, I don't want to go to school because guess because I was afraid that the teachers would think that there was a new student. Or some shit. Because my face had blown up and I didn't look like me at all, and it was just bad. So for a whole week I missed school because I looked like a chimp.
That's fucking
Nah, I mean,
wasp did you good.
No, but
guys remember like
when you were young,
Like I barely left the house at all. Like I was so embarrassed.
like when
The
you were
wasp
young,
really gave you the smoke.
when you were young though, and you got stung by a bee, and like you go to run to like your parent, your guardian, or some shit. Everything like next to you and in front of you just turns into a blur, and you're like, ow, 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 ow. At least that's what it was like with me. I fucking hated bees.
I've never been stung by a bee. Seriously, dude, back at my old house, I was back in the woods, and like I must have stepped on some underground fucking nest, and my dad was with me, and I got No, I was walking in shoes, but I got fucking swarmed by like.
I actually have a story about bees. I have a story. I have a story.
Like football through the fucking woods back to my house, through the swamp. Shit was not fun. And my parents didn't know if I was fucking allergic or not.
Boys, I have a story. I have a story.
No, wait.
No, shut up. I have a story.
Wait,
No, actually,
No,
no,
wait.
go.
wait, can we all just appreciate the fact that Gavin just said that there is such thing as a underground bee's nest
Yeah,
That's a thing.
they're-
That's a thing.
fucking
in North America?
yes.
Yes.
Woods everywhere, dude.
I just
Where's my
in my
phone?
backyard.
Where's
I
my
just
phone?
in my
That's a
backyard.
thing.
My
Dude, that's the
brother,
thing.
my brother, and
They
his
dig
friend-
underground and like make nests there.
my brother and our next door neighbor were best friends. So they had the fucking brilliant idea to try to dig an underground fucking tunnel under the fence
Underground railroad.
into our backyard. So he starts digging. A week later, it's kind of deep, and then like fucking moles and shit moved into it. So it was like a whole tunnel system. And then there's this big ass wasp nest in there, and I didn't know that. My lacrosse ball went down there, stuck my hand into it to get it, and I grabbed the bee's nest. I got stung like 50 times.
Bees and wasps aren't the same thing.
Well, no, it's a wasp nest underground.
Why'd you say
he
bee?
meant wasp.
Okay, you want to get into semantics here about bees stinging
I
the
have
fuck
a
out of me?
story. I've actually ran into barbed wire before.
As have I. So go ahead and tell your story.
So in my backyard, there's like a woods and shit, and there used to be barbed wire back there because some people go hunting.
Oh,
and shit.
it was like fencing.
Yeah, and
With the razor wire.
my dad went in there and cut all of it, but he missed some. And it like got rusted and shit, and it blended in with the environment. And
Gian done
some
fucked up.
kid was chasing me in my backyard before I went in the woods, and I was like putting the jukes on his ass. And I fucking ran into the woods where the base was, and I went the wrong way, and I just started sprinting and looking behind me. So I turn around, and I just fucking ram into it, and now I have a scar on my leg. So I ran inside, and then Mike got in
I
trouble.
ran into razor wire once too. I was on.
Mikey's just not even with you. You go inside, the leg all bloody, and they're like, Michael, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah.
Alright, I have a bee story. I have a bee story. So a few years ago, there was a bee just like hanging on a tree, whatever the fuck, as bees do. And so my dad and my uncle have the bright idea to put a rope over the branch and start swinging the branch. They have the bright idea to put a rope over the branch and start swinging the branch with the rope. It does not end well. I mean, they don't get stung, but so I'm just chilling inside. I'm like 10 or some shit. I just see the bee's nest fall down, and then you see the both of them bolt. He's gone.
Just absolutely obliterated.
Bro, I love when the cartoons that make the bees all like black and they make shapes. I can just imagine them chasing everyone as they're going out of there.
Just a whole ass fucking cloud of bees.
Yeah.
A whole swarm. They're like, get the fuck back over here, boy.
What's your barbed wire
Oh
story?
yeah, my barbed wire story. So it's similar to Joey's. So we were playing. It was Thanksgiving, and why do all my tragedies happen on like some on some sort of holiday? Because my head destroyer story happened like on spring break.
Wait.
Watch the first podcast. Watch the first podcast.
Yeah, podcast already told it. I'm not telling it again.
What's the timestamp?
It's the first. Just listen to it.
It's like one of the first stories.
Yeah. Then my fucking knee getting busted open and getting stitched up while all my cousins watched. That was Easter. And
Yeah, with the Easter egg hunt your family's watching. Holy fuck, my knee!
yeah. Also on a podcast.
Also on the first one.
Yeah. Go watch Plug.
Plug.
Yeah, Plug.
Plug.
Look.
The playground accident. Plug.
So it was Thanksgiving, so we're playing flag football, and so at this time I didn't really know my left from my right because I was kind of direction dyslexic.
I am
Like
dyslexic.
Joey. Like Joey minus the direction.
So my dad was like telling me to play. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna hand you the ball, and you're gonna run to the left." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Runs backwards.
Got it. I know what I'm supposed to do. So he hands me the ball, and I go to the right. And it was at it was at my grandparents' farmhouse, and so in the backyard, there's just a whole wall of just barbed wire.
Oh no.
And it's not that rusted just because of the material or the type of metal, but it was like a little bit. And so like I'm running at full speed and I see someone like coming to like grab my flag and I'm like, well, do you know what would be a good idea? To run more to the right, more towards the barbed wire. And then there was just, so I'm like, yep, that'll be a good idea. So I'm running, and then comes the stick. And so I hit the fucking stick and I just topple right into the barbed wire at full speed, and I just get ripped up. And like there's like holes all in my shirt and everything, and I'm just like tangled in it. I'm like, bruh. and like everyone's coming to help me out.
Oh no, what do we do?
So yeah, there was like scratches all on my chest, back. My hands were scuffed.
Like superhuman.
My hands were like scuffed. Like I might have had to get stitches if it was a little bit deeper in my pinky. It was scuffed. But yeah, and once again, all my cousins were there to watch. So that was great.
The fucking cousins, I swear. The useless rats.
A lot of my injuries happen near holidays too, or like important things. Like the time Gavin and I were going on vacation, we were going to Ocean City. The night before, we were supposed to leave at like 5 in the morning. Didn't end up leaving until like 11 in the morning because I was in the emergency room. Fucking my brother. I remember this so vividly too. We were upstairs. We had this marble coffee table in our living room, and we were upstairs watching King of the Hill. And it was a specific episode where Hank revealed that he's allergic, or not allergic. He was afraid of bats, so they're overcoming this fear of bats. But like
Anthony's fear of leaving Monster.
I used to ask my brother to like crack my back for me. Yeah. Like if it was stiff. So he cracks my back, goes to throw me on the couch. Threw me on the couch. I hit the armrest, bounced off, and my head slammed into the coffee table. It's the coffee table in my basement now. There's a crack in it from my head. It's marble. It is hard as shit.
Marble
And I
is
grabbed
not
my head.
easy.
I grabbed my head, screaming like fucking holy fuck,
Like Anthony when he runs out the
like
monster.
rubbing my hand over my head. There's a fucking hole in the back of my head. I'm running into the kitchen. I'm grabbing towels and shit, putting it on my head. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. And my mom's like, you have to go to the hospital.
That
If
sounds
you do
similar
not
to
get
my
it-
head bust.
She's like, if you don't get it healed, it will get infected, and you will have flies in your head. She probably said that to scare me. So I went to the hospital. I got 4 staples in my head, and
Dude, 4? Jesus.
Bro, it sounds like
being in
something
Ocean
got an
City-
accident.
Yeah,
being in Ocean City, I couldn't go swimming for 2 days, which sucked.
Dude, I remember going to the arcade because we couldn't fucking go
Literally,
swimming.
man.
Have you guys ever had the cops call on you?
Yes, I actually
Yes.
I had before.
Yeah.
I've done that like a
Let me
shit ton of times.
explain. So I was on vacation with 2 of my friends, Michael and Cody, and Mike, my brother. And they told us about this bridge, and under it was water, so we kept jumping off. It was low tide at the time, because why not?
How deep was it?
Not that deep. All right, so let's.
How tall was the bridge?
It was kind of tall. It wasn't that tall, but
He just jumped straight into
so
the
no, we were
water.
Let's just put it
jumping.
this way. He's
No,
got another
we were
person.
fine.
Jump. Very first jump, water.
So
turns red.
there's this kid.
Snap against rocks.
There's this kid working at a kayak shop right next to it, and he kept telling us to do like backflips and shit and jump off. And then he called the cops and telling me we were jumping off a bridge, and the cop told us not to do that and shit. And so then we went back in our dinghy back to the boat, and we're like explaining, like, all right, we can't tell your parents that we just got the cops called on us. We have to explain and tell them that kid was a douche who called them on us, and make it feel like it wasn't our fault.
You should
So
have just been like,
we get there, and Cody just goes, we got the cops calling on us. To his fucking parents. Bro, it was so bad. They got mad for a bit, but then we had to explain.
oh, dude. Speaking of jumping into water, I'm a swimmer. I'm on the swim team. We had a meet. Our very last meet. Our very last meet was this.
I wish he was on his own computer so I could kick him from the call.
All I hear created is
Our very last meet was this past Wednesday. It was in fucking, I don't know where it was, and it comes to the point where it's diving, and this kid goes to do this fancy ass dive.
Slams his head on
And
the
like
diving board.
jumps off the diving board, does like a fucking double backflip, some shit, and perfectly flat on the surface. Just a gets out of the water. His entire front is red. He's tearing up and shit, and everyone's like, "Ooh."
What about that kid? They were racing, and then before they said go, he just fell in the water and got disqualified.
It wasn't even like the actual heat either. It was just exhibition. So it was just kids like who aren't really that good. They're like, take your mark, splash.
Dude, I have a story from the fucking water. I don't know if it was you. It might have been Anthony or Tommy, but we were up in the cabin in Vermont, my other cabin. So we were up there, right? And so we decided to go down to the lake. It's like, what, a 10-minute walk. So we go down to the other lake, not like the fishing lake.
That lake is clean.
Dude, yeah, that one's clean. So is the one that we fish in, but it's not as safe because we haven't like cleared it of like snapping turtles and shit, so you wouldn't want to go in there. And like it's got way more weed, dude. My uncle,
Weed?
my uncle picked us. It was coming at him. He got a snapping turtle. He took a photo with it. He got it. It was coming at him. So he has that. But we were at the swimming lake and we were doing spear fishing. So it might not have been you, but we were spear fishing. We get out and then we're like, "What the fuck is that smell, dude?" There's a fucking like decomposed beaver that's just washed up with bits of flesh coming off of it and floating towards the water. And we're like, what the fuck do we do with this, man? They're like little kids like going out in the water. So we don't know what to do, right? And we have spear guns. And like We also had like spears.
Last time you just poked at it in the leg.
No.
Take this spear, just stab it, and throw the spear.
No, what we were gonna try and do is like stab it, pick it up, and move it, but the shit was like just mush. So all of a sudden, this white fucking Karen head-ass mom gets out of her truck, like her fucking Ford F-150, gets out, she goes, no, she goes, what are you guys doing? Oh, you need to handle this. Puts on her fucking like white gloves, puts on like a jacket, goes like this is how you do it. Fucking picks up the decomposing beaver, gets up, walks, and throws it into the woods.
And then she shoves it in her mouth. She just eats it.
Dude,
Absolutely.
she
just
smelled like
devours
fucking
it.
ass, man. She came back, took the jacket off. No, dude, it was fucking crazy, man. She didn't look like the kind of person that would be willing to pick up a dead beaver.
She has all the
Turns out
shit
later
on
that
that
night
beaver.
she went back.
No, she also like
the
the
beaver.
beaver stains on her gloves. She just takes the gloves off and just fucking eats them.
She makes a soup, squeezes them out, makes a stew.
She just slurped up that flesh like chicken broth.
So you guys
Dude, a
remember?
lot of shit happens up
You guys
the road.
remember the bridge I was telling you about that we were jumping off of?
yeah.
So we wanted to do this Mission Impossible shit where the boat goes under the bridge, someone hops up, and then jumps onto it when it comes out the bottom.
Not a good idea.
You said it was kind
No,
of.
we had to boost each other up on the bridge. We couldn't do it fast. So when we were lowering ourselves into the fucking boat,
Cody jumped, snapped his leg, and you guys were.
so we hopped down. It took us forever to get down, and then Mikey was coming down. Michael Shapiro goes, "All right, just get on my shoulders." Mikey lowers himself down, just sits on his fucking face. I was just sitting his neck back.
Just fucking snaps his neck, fucking dies with his face in Mikey's ass.
Dude, that's like the time when we were at the water wheel at the place. And they were like, "Yo, guys, we can run on this, right?" So they get in the water wheel, which is still dripping water down if you spin it far enough. So they're like, "Yeah, Gavin, spin it quick. We got this. We'll just run past it." So they're in it, trying to outrun the speed, so they can essentially run upside down with a wet water wheel. So I end up spinning it so far that they just get drenched in water, and they're like, "No, keep going," and they just crash into each other. I don't know about.
Oh, Eddie, why are you looking so damn fucking good right now? Holy shit!
Uh-huh.
God damn!
Gotta go take a piss.
Yeah, tell me. So.
Fat, dude.
You might die.
Tommy,
Okay.
did you at least open the window?
he barely opened the door.
Alright, so once Tommy gets back, I think it's time for the gem of the night,
The pool stick.
the
still?
pool stick story.
Yo,
You guys to tell your perspective.
Hey yo, bro, why you simping though?
Why you simping?
Why
though?
you
Show the
simping though?
image.
are you simping though?
Show the image here.
Pull that shit up, pull that shit up.
I pushed in his ass.
It's such a cursed image.
Same thing.
It's just, yeah.
What?
This image is actually just a work of art.
One of the funniest things, I think, that I got injured. I wasn't really injured, but my brother and I were kind of fighting.
He stuck a pool stick in his ass.
I don't remember what happened, but like, I ended up doing a somersault, but I went like completely rolled on my head. My body was completely vertical, and then my back slammed onto the ground, knocked the wind out of me, like fucking getting punched by like Mr. T. But I slammed my back on the ground, and as soon as it hit the ground, it just went. The biggest fart came out. My brother starts laughing. I'm just on the ground like.
He's dead. He's dead.
I did that to my brother too.
I stabbed myself with a pencil.
Dude,
Yeah. Right in the knee.
I did my brother right in the forehead.
I already have
He's a leg broke off.
dude, we were outside with me, Mikey, and Tommy. We were down at Stop and Shop, and this motherfucker had the most perfect fart. It was like the shit you hear on the sound. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, you should tell the. You should tell the.
Fuck up.
We should tell. I want to tell the window story. Gavin got angry at me once, and he's like, Aiden, I swear to God, I'll throw your little sister out the
window. Your whole sister.
I was like, if you're speaking about my house, it's only one story. You will throw her into the bushes 4 feet below. She'll be fine.
The glass was better, though.
I was like, Gavin, I'll throw your fucking brother out the window. And he's like, I swear to God, if you bring my brother into this, I'll throw your sister out a 3-story. She's like, I'll throw your sister out a 3-story window. I was like, someone just goes, Gavin, will those leg presses help?
They need context on the leg presses.
No, because apparently Gavin can leg press 1,000 pounds.
1,200.
I've
seen it, dude. He was at the gym with me.
Eddie,
the old dude is creepy as fuck. He was like,
a whiff of something. It smells like cap.
No, I don't wear hats, bitch. I don't wear hats.
Oh, you weren't there for the how much?
Yeah, with Mikey.
No, it was Brandon.
Oh, it was Brandon, right?
Right,
he's like, I don't have any money.
Alright,
It was just water cost.
Get on the pool stick.
It's free.
So wait.
Actually, we need Brandon because he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the only one that's like at this table, and then Eddie that was there.
Brandon.
Open the window.
Brandon.
No, it'd be cold.
You were an eyewitness.
I was not.
All right.
We need to put Brandon in eyewitness
So
protection.
Brandon is gonna tell his perspective from the story. It's a short perspective.
I think
Alright,
how about Brandon just starts in with just hearing Eddie die?
No.
And then
So,
Eddie
okay.
we need to lay out the scene real quick.
Bro, I like seeing Eddie die.
I'll let
It's
so,
funny.
It was
Brandon lives to tell the tale.
So it was me and Tommy. We're chilling at Eddie's house. We're sleeping over, and we're waiting for Eddie's phone to charge.
Okay.
I forgot why.
Because we needed the authentication so I could make a new account on our Xbox
yeah.
so we could play Black Ops.
Oh yeah, so we're waiting for that, and like we're bored. Me and Tommy just chilling in the living room downstairs, and Eddie, we don't know what Eddie's doing, and all of a sudden we hear this huge crash and Eddie on the floor, and we're like, oh no, like the cabinet, like we think like Eddie just smacked into the cabinet, and we see Eddie laying on the floor next to a pool stick, and he's like,
clenched.
shut up, and all he says is, I've been penetrated. and me and Tommy are dying laughing as he's in pain, clenching his ass cheeks.
He's been impaled.
He was impaled
Alright,
by a pistol.
So now it's gonna be my point of a little bit to what I was thinking. So we're waiting for everything. I'm just like on. So I'm obviously not on my phone, but the other two are on their phones, and I'm just chilling, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really bored, so you know what? I'm gonna do a bit. Fucking touch my thigh. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a bit, and do you know what that bit will be? I have some pool sticks here and a pool table. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna put a pool stick up my ass. That'll be a funny bit, you know. That'll be a funny bit, right? So I get up, I get a pool stick. I put it up right on the ground. Then I climb on top of the pool table, and I'm like, what's the best way to go about this? I don't want to jump in front of it because then there's a chance it'll hit my chin and just impale through my head, and I don't really want to like jump beside it because then it doesn't look like it's going in my ass. So I think the best thing we'll do is to jump all the way over it and have it go behind me. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Did you try to like? Was it balanced on something? Or
No. I
you
no.
just hold it. You held it and then let go and jump. Try jumping. Really
No, I was still holding it.
Standing on the
Yeah, so I was
like
He guided it with his archer stand.
yeah, I was holding it.
Oh, so you got like a 3-foot drop onto it.
So
Felt like more than
telling the
that.
pool stick story. So
Because he
yeah.
wants to show his hot body.
So I'm like, yeah, that'll be a good idea. So I don't even know what I was thinking because they weren't even looking when I did it. Like they weren't even looking to witness the bit.
They didn't flinch.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, and I jump fully expecting for me to go all the way over. But what I didn't account for was the pants I was wearing. So that specific day, I was wearing super elastic sweatpants that sagged a little on my ass. So when I jumped over it, the tip of the pull stick caught some of the loose pant and did not allow me to go all the way over. Instead, gravity brought me down. I couldn't make it all the way over and brought me right on top of the pull stick. So there I was suspended in midair, starting to lean forward and pivot forward, and while both hands on the pull stick to try and prevent it from going all the way through me. The only barrier between it and inside my asshole, because it did go in a little bit, and the only thing
so it was like
it was in me. And the only thing separating the pull stick from the inside of my ass is my underwear and my super elastic pants. And so there I was, suspended in midair, both hands on the pull stick to try and have it not rip through my pants and kill me. I am slowly falling towards the cabinet, and I slam into the cabinet with a majestic. and I just completely ram into the cabinet, and then I fall sideways. And make a sound because of how much pain I was in. Yeah, how much pain I was in, and I'm like writhing in pain on the ground because the pull stick didn't just go in me. No, when it came out, it didn't soft. Sure, your finger is inside your, and then just pivot it until it pops out. Basically, that's what happened, and that's what happened. So it scraped inside my ass and then popped out. And when I went on the ground, and so I was rolling on the ground, and the first thing I hear my beloved friend say, "The cabinet okay?" They're not even concerned with me.
All we heard was a bang.
Is the cabinet okay? I'm on the ground, writhing in pain, and is the cabinet okay? I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm just sitting there on the ground. They're like, what happened? I've been penetrated, and they just start dying laughing while I'm just on the floor, just like barely able to talk, and I'm just rolling around because my ass hurts so much.
I mean.
And finally, it calms down a little bit, but they're still laughing. So I go upstairs into the bathroom to assess the damage, and there's just this red, like rash-like streak coming from my asshole, from like my asshole, like down my cheek, and you can like see right in the point of like where it came out. And I wasn't able to shit properly without me being in like a lot of pain for like a week straight. Yes. And I was in so much pain. And it was...
I was basically the story of Eddie trying to penetrate himself.
Yeah, my first anal experience.
His first anal.
I have a story.
Ever seen the movie Beer Fest?
No, I don't want to talk about movies.
Nah, it's like the funniest drinking movie you'll ever watch. But the dude from Harold and Kumar is in it, and he's like, they're trying to make
Which one, Harold or Kumar?
The Indian one, not the
Kumar.
Yeah, Kumar. So they're trying to make a USA drinking team to beat in Germany, and like they go through this whole thing, and apparently they were like high school friends, and he was really good at the coin toss game where you bounce it off the table in a shot glass. Really good at it. So they're like, oh, you gotta play Pong. You were like the best in high school. You were the best in college, dude. You're so good. And he goes to play it, and he's lost his touch. And his story for him losing his touch is like now, what happened? I played competitively in Japan, and you know how they are with Pong. I beat them, and it didn't go over well, so they shoved the paddle up my ass. Oh my god, dude, that's terrible. And the Jewish guy, he's like, it's okay. I'd feel pretty bad if I had a ping pong paddle handle stuffed up my ass. And he goes, it wasn't the handle. I've been shitting pancakes for 5 years.
Right. So I was at school. And for unnamed reasons, I was in football gear along with one of my friends. Let's call him Gerald. So Gerald, my friend, is about 5'9", 5'10", weighs about like 130 pounds. He's quite a lean figure. So he decides, since we're in football gear, it'd be really fun to just jump and push each other around into shit. So he goes like, hey, jump up and I'll push you into that door. Don't worry, you won't get hurt. We have football pads on. So he goes, jump, and he pushes me into the door. I'm kind of fucking hurt, but I'm not going to say that because then my friend, who is quite scrawny and is 130, says, okay, now my turn. He says jump, not understanding what's about to happen. I end up pushing him. He gets fucking annihilating against the bathroom door. Has a red mark on his back from the door handle. He's a fucking guy pain with like a 12-inch mark on his arm.
12-inch
from just
cock
getting
on his ass.
no, it's not Eddie's story.
A whole
Wait,
pool
Brandon
cue.
was there?
No.
Anthony's brother.
The entire pool cue was in his ass.
I want to jump back to my story for a second there. It could have gone so much worse.
Bro, your intestines could have been
It could have
He could have straightened out.
It could have torn your intestines.
Yeah, it
You
no.
could have died.
Yeah, that worse. If it
It wasn't for your pants.
if it wasn't for my super elastic pants, it
Wait,
had
what color were they?
gray.
It's
Just don't wear
it's like,
pants next to
it's
him.
like one man, one jar, except the one.
Oh no, I hate.
One boy, one.
Wait, what was that? What show was that with the wait? What show was the broomstick?
13 Reasons Why when he gets fucking butt with the broomstick.
Yeah.
See, but that one, yeah.
Dude,
Like,
that one's not
your
the
hand-
same. He got like destroyed by like 3 people with a broomstick.
Yeah, and you gotta
It was
find
blood.
yourself.
No,
It
your-
was blood.
Your Hannah Baker's dad. She's going out. I was like, Hannah Baker, why are you going out at this hour? You have one. No. 2 reasons why. You have to give me 3 reasons. No, make that 4 reasons. I want 7 reasons why. You know what? I want 13 reasons why you are going to go out tonight. After I've been killing myself at work to put money on the table.
Wow, that was
Kill yourself.
It's almost as bad as one of my
Comedy
stories.
Cold.
Comedy
I'm
Cold.
a good.
This is not as funny as damn Daniel.
Where is Anthony
His
when we
stories
need
when
him?
I've been pushing people into
Yeah, he's gone. Everyone left.
Wait, you think he wants to get Monster?
No.
Yeah, totally. They went to Reddit.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's sitting in the kitchen he's sitting in the kitchen drinking
I
Monster.
thought every store in that plaza was 24
I don't get it though.
hours.
Monster isn't
He's a
even like
fucking idiot.
I
that
fucking
great.
know.
Wait, John. How much time do we have right now?
The gym is.
We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Well, maybe they're
Alright, I
coming
think it's
in.
time to close.
It is time to close. Alright, guys. This
So
has
right,
been,
Twix.
Bleep it. I don't want that in.
You better
I
say
don't
left
want
Twix so
that.
you're a commie.
I want that cut out.
Shut up, Gavin.
You didn't answer the question.
Shut up. Shut up.
All your voice lines are being bleeped.
All of your stories are gone. Everything is gone.
Everything just
Not the
annihilated.
beaver one.
Gone.
Yeah, the people
Alright.
have just
The beaver story was the worst one.
Alright, Eddie,
No.
sign us off. This podcast was terrible. I'm not gonna upload it.
Yep. Well, that
Good
was
idea.
the Midnight Podcast. I hope you didn't like it at all because fuck you. And yeah, see you next time.
Oh.